We are many, but we are one. From the east down to the west, the south and north.
ANPMP, we are greater together. I want to deeply appreciate Chairman of this occasion, other members of the high table, in absentia, as we expect his arrival. I want to appreciate the Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Sagie Ehinari, the man who has continued to command the battle against the very heavy healthcare burden of Nigeria, a job he has done eminently. I want to appreciate the Executive Secretary of the NHIS, Professor Mohammed Sambo, who is ably represented here by our own colleague and advocate of health insurance in Nigeria, Dr. Yakubu Agada. You're welcome, sir. Let me also recognize the presence of the GMD President, our brothers on the other side. As we all know, we are one family, two brothers from the same womb, but one has gone to reside up north and one is still in the south. But the strings that tie us together have never been threatened. The CMD of UCH, Dr. Lawal, and the Honorable Commissioner for Oyo State, Dr. Olabode Ladipo, who gave us a very warm reception in his office yesterday, and a man who revealed to us that in healthcare, everything is possible as long as you are committed and dedicated. And we deeply appreciate the great work he's doing in the state with his executive governor, transforming primary healthcare delivery into the mainstay of healthcare in the state, meeting indeed WHO recommendations. Honorable Commissioner, you're welcome. Let me appreciate also the President of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, and of course, my own President, the ACPAM President, multiple chief, dynamic leader, Dr. Jimmy Aribabowo, High Chief. Distinguished guests, permit me, if I've omitted any of you who is here, in the course of time, will acknowledge your presence. On that note, elders of the ANPMP, past presidents, DOT members, DMPs present, FAGPs of the association, my NOC, the first vice president, second vice president, the secretary general, the honorable treasurer, the PRO, assistant secretary, the IPP, if he's here now, the IPSG, editor of the Journal of General Practice, Wonka Liaison Officer, and the Wonka Africa Regional President, and everybody in the ESCO, distinguished NEC members, members of Congress, very, very distinguished private practitioners in Nigeria, my colleagues in the ANPMP, I very heartily welcome you to the 44th Annual Scientific Conference and AGM of our great association. The days are made new every morning. Flowers reblossom through the seasons and are made new. Eagles renew their strength. Every new moment is a new life and new experience in a new beginning. The subject matter of my discourse is a new beginning. In 1921, our journey as an association began in that obscure era in history. Last year, 2021, we turned 100 years. That was a remarkable milestone that we marked with meditative fanfare. Stepping into a new millennium, we mark a new beginning and we herald a new hope. Every 100 years mark a turning point in the life of a man or organization. A step away from there tilts the balance into a fresh dawn, a new beginning. Distinguished elders and members of our great association, I welcome you all to this epoch-making event of our 44th International Conference and AGM. It is a momentous occasion, especially coming on the heels of our centenary conference that held in August last year in Abuja. Our association has navigated the mountains and valleys of the Nigerian economic, social, and political terrain and has been tempered by the exposure and by the experience. As the oldest medical association in Nigeria, and more than any after us, we have consistently supported the healthcare delivery system of Nigeria vigorously, rendering uninterrupted services to Nigerians for as long as we have been around. 7 out of every 10 Nigerians depend on us for their healthcare needs. This makes us the most valuable partners in healthcare in Nigeria. I am grateful to Almighty God who brought us to the ancient city of Ibadan, the city of many firsts, safely. This city of the first television station in Nigeria, the first university in Nigeria, the first medical college in Nigeria, the first private hospital in Nigeria, the first skyscraper in Nigeria, the first secretariat in Nigeria, etc. Please an applause for the whole. Yes, we'll go down in our history once again, landing another first. Ibadan will go down in our history as the first city in Nigeria to host the annual international conference and AGM of the Association of Nigerian Private Medical Practitioners, ANPMP, after the centenary event. These are historically remarkable and yet hold the torchlight into the future of further firsts as the city leads the trail in various dimensions of life. I thank the members and the leadership of the Oyo State chapter, ably led by the quietly audacious chairman, Dr. Olayinka Olabdikupo, and the local organizing committee led by our energetic national PRO, Dr. Ademoyewa Ajanaku, for the spectacular event management they have shown. thanks to members of the National Officers Committee, the National Executive Council, and all members here present in person or those connected to this program online, and others who might not be part of the event for various reasons. I appreciate all our guests, partners, sponsors, and friends of the private doctors. I recognize all you ladies and gentlemen in the house. Welcome to Ibadan, and please make the best of your time in capacity development, tourism, and leisure. I specifically appreciate our spouses. You have been wonderful and truly supportive. Thank you for all you have done to add value to this association, especially in this dispensation under your able leadership of the Spouses Support Group, eminently led by your chairperson and president, Mrs. Doris Odo, my wife. In a very special way, I appreciate the Honorable Minister for Health, Dr. Osagi Ehinare, our leader and mentor, who has overseen the affairs of the Nigerian healthcare delivery system since the last 7 years. By the peculiar confluence of faith and events and time, he has known no rest since assuming office as minister, working around the clock to stabilize the turbulent sail of the Nigerian health system. Much has been done, sir, but much more still has to be done. We appreciate you, and we are delighted to have you honor us at this event as our special guest of honor. We are expecting him because his PAs confirmed that. Now, the private health sector and the nation, a 360 degrees appraisal. The nation is as rich as the quality of the healthcare delivery available to its people. The disease burden of the populace determines its degree of poverty. The private sector is the face of healthcare in any healthcare compliant nation. In such climes, instituting best practice standards and sustaining acceptable healthcare indices are the deliberate agenda of government and the general system. These are the indicators of a healthy healthcare system. For some yet to be determined reasons, Nigerians, even those who should help the private sector, believe that the private doctor is rich. This might underline the lack of faith that we carry, so the mark of faith that we carry around, misunderstood and often overestimated. This impression is far from the truth. The presence of a few isolated oases in the desert does not end the desert a new baptism. It is still a desert. A few doctors have left the crowd, but the crowd is still overpopulated by the doctors we know. The average Nigerian out there, 9 in 10, has no health insurance and is waiting to pay for his medical bills out of pocket. And 7 in 10 out of the poor Nigerians out there cannot pay their bills. The private doctor has no access to affordable loans or grants and is left to struggle with a daily crippling economy in which inflation has driven the cost of providing medical services beyond the roof. Individual Nigerians and corporate organizations are either poor or are averse to paying medical bills. The private doctor bears the cost, and those patients who cannot pay their bills remain a big burden to the system. Now, the scenario underscores the theme of this year's conference, the challenges of healthcare delivery system in a developing country, the role of the private medical practitioners. Ladies and gentlemen, There is no doubt that the private doctors of Nigeria have been the champions of our healthcare delivery system, I bet uncelebrated as champions. They have supported the healthcare needs and they have continued to carry on as their next door neighbor, ever present and ever available and ever accepting and responding to the needs of fellow Nigerians out there. But as we know, we are yet struggling with our own system, having to develop and having to jettison minimal considerations, getting focused and getting committed and courageous to truly deliver healthcare to Nigerians, knowing that the only way out is to ensure universal health coverage. This is where I must pause to pay great tribute to Professor Sambo of the NHIS. Each time we have had the privilege of meeting this man, and we have met him for quite a number of times. I see a man under fire. I see a man eager, desirous, willing to do things. But I still see a man struggling with the pressures and the limitations of the system he has found himself in. Left to him, Nigeria will have put in place the most advanced healthcare delivery system, but how far can he go when the system is a big obstruction? Today, as we know, the law, the prevailing law, the legislature on this health system still makes healthcare perhaps not compulsory. It's optional. And when it is optional, the average Nigerian still doesn't see why he should pay money when he's not sick. This is the biggest impediment. But by the grace of God, by the prayers of you Nigerians out there, the bill is sitting on Mr. President's desk, and the moment that new bill is signed into law, making healthcare compulsory for everybody, the business of driving health insurance in Nigeria will have been made easier, and the lot of Professor Sambo will have celebrated. So, sir, take the message back to the Honorable Executive Secretary that we see his pains and we are with him, and we will continue to stand shoulder to shoulder with the NHIS until we get to the promised land. During the first ever private sector health dialogue that held in Abuja last year, as part of our centenary event, we reminded our government and our people and our investors that the key to healthcare delivery anywhere in the world is the private sector. We can't go far without them. We have continued to appeal, and I will use this same podium, this platform, on behalf of the Nigerian private doctors across this country, to appeal to our government and our businessmen and women out there, investors, collaborators, partners in the industry, to cease to see private practice as a business of Panadol and needle and syringe. No, medical business is big business, the best business in the world, because it's the only business that has the humanitarian content, the business that connects you to humanity and to God. And so I call upon our brothers and sisters out there to invest in the private doctor, lift them out of the limitations they face, support healthcare delivery in this country, and all of us will be out there to celebrate. We have a centenary project. Number one of this project is our desire as an association to support the NHIS and our government to bring about universal health coverage by the year 2030. That is the new goalpost to deliver health insurance to every Nigerian. As doctors located everywhere in this country, we have chosen to convert our consulting rooms and every opportunity to advocate to every Nigerian we meet to support health insurance, to educate them, and to use every available means of advertisement, communication, the multimedia, the social media, electronic and print, so that Nigerians can become aware. 9 out of 10 Nigerians out there do not understand what health insurance is. We are taking up that as an advocacy in partnership with our colleagues and friends, so that by the year 2030, no Nigerian will be outside the umbrella. Our mothers out there are suffering. A lot of Nigerian mothers die in pregnancy and in labor for no good reason. We are taking up that mandate again as a social corporate responsibility to our nation, that no Nigerian mother should die anymore. We need to do something. We need to cease from complaining and lamenting. We have therefore launched the 10 billion naira Save 1 million Nigerian Mothers initiative. We are going to drive advocacy, drive capacity building, and to ensure that universal health coverage comes. If the average Nigerian woman knows that she can go to the best hospital with or without money, they will cease to go to the wrong places. Today, we know that over 70% of them go to maternities. Finally, therefore, my dear colleagues, fellow Nigerians, ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest challenges Nigeria has today is the medical brain drain. It is difficult to understand because it is difficult to also imagine. Today, as we speak, less than 30% of Nigerian healthcare workers, as we had 3 years ago, are still in Nigeria. Others have gone into the diaspora. They're either in the UK or in Saudi Arabia or in Dubai, and more are leaving. That is why we must use the opportunity of this conference to appeal to our governments to take that issue more seriously and save our healthcare system. We need to improve healthcare delivery, improve healthcare financing, improve rewards, remuneration for healthcare workers, encourage security so that Nigerians can stay back and save our country. Of course, we all know the insecurity in this country. It is a big burden. Our government is trying, but they can do more. They can do more. When a man is not safe to move around, he becomes a prisoner in his own home. And even in the prison, you are still not safe. Our Nigerian government, we appeal, do more than you are already doing. Finally, our 44th annual international conference has afforded us the opportunity to re-explore our situation. The times are difficult and they are rough, but in hope and determination, working together, investing into the common vision of supporting our country and our people's experience, healthcare delivery, we will make the difference. In an atmosphere of affordable, accessible, and equitable healthcare delivery that leaves no one outside the boat, which is universal health coverage, we will drive a new nation we will be proud to have helped to build. Every great city was once a forest or a swamp. It took people to transform it. The best healthcare system of the world were built by men. It is possible for us to build our own healthcare system, but we cannot achieve more than we make possible by our belief and by our actions. Thank you very much, and God bless the ANPMP. God bless Nigeria. Thank you.
We can do better than that. A standing ovation from Mr. President